Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. Welcome back to another Daily Masters cast. Going to be checking out some PvP today, see how these guys are doing, and let's talk a little bit about both these players because I don't believe I've cast either of them so far. I may have cast Arthur at some point. I can't quite remember. I'm pretty sure I haven't cast Trend, so let's go check out a little bit of information about them. Now, Arthur is from South Korea. He is not actually part of a team as far as the profile is concerned, and he's got one of those really creepy photos that's sort of looking at you, that sort of freaks you out a bit. So yeah, he's also number 112 on the WCS with 300 points. That's pretty awesome. And whoops, that's the wrong button. So let's switch over to Trend, who yeah, is currently also from South Korea. He's plays for the Samsung Galaxy team, and he's currently ranked number 204 on the WCS, which is actually 0 points. So he's been in a couple of I think he's in one of the Premier Leagues or something like that, or the Challenger Leagues, one of those, and he didn't do too well, so he didn't get any points of that. But he has participated in WCS, one of the WCS seasons to some degree. So yeah, I mean, they're definitely not right up the top of the WCS league, obviously, but still going. I think this is actually taken out of a Zotac Cup, if I remember correctly, one of the Zotac Cups. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how these guys do. They're pretty much doing the same things at the moment, but very, very early game with Protoss players playing off against each other is to be expected. So yeah, going to be checking that out. PvP, I mean, it's very, very different to PvZ. It's a lot closer to PvT than it is to PvZ, but it's still, PvP has its own sort of flavors. Like Archons, you'll see them a lot more often in PvPs than you will in pretty much any other PV matchup, just because Archons are just so buffed up. They've got so much health, they do so much damage, and you'd expect them to see a lot in Zerg games, but in Zerg it's mainly all about the Colossus and the High Templar. I mean, the fact is Zerg, almost all the units are biological, and Archons do bonus damage to biological, but still you mainly see them in PvP. You see them in other matchups, but it's only really PvP and maybe PvT, but mainly PvP. You actually see players get out the High Templar and morph them straight into Archons. They don't even bother researching Storm. They just get the Archons straight away. And maybe that's what Trend is actually going for. He's getting a Twilight Council out, nice and fast. It's actually probably the fastest he could possibly get that. Arthur, not too far behind with his own Twilight Council. I would not be surprised if that's for some kind of Templar play. Could also be for Stalker Blink. Blink Stalkers is another very, very popular strategy in PvT. I mean, it's not like when you're playing against a Zerg where they can just do a massive amount of speedlings, or when you go off against Terran and they can just chuck out a few Marauders. I mean, with a Protoss versus Protoss, there's no direct counter to the Stalkers unless you count Immortals, and Immortals cost a lot of money. And other than against the Stalkers, they're not really great against a whole lot. I mean, they're great against ground units that are armored, so they're not that good against Zealots. They're good against other Immortals, sort of. Their Heart and Shield sort of balance each other out. So they're really, really good against Stalkers, and Colossus are just like, whatever, man. I mean, they're right up the back of the army. So if you manage to get the Immortal within range of the Colossus, you're probably doing alright, but you'd probably have to wade through a mountain of other units to get within range of the Colossus. So yeah, I don't know. Immortals, they're good versus Stalkers, but no, they're not like a core unit that you'd want to get a lot of all over the place. And here we go, actually. These Stalkers going to be going in, but Trend does have his own set of Stalkers already over there, and it's sort of evened out a little bit, but not quite. I think that Trend probably still has a minor advantage at the moment. Both players madly try to get Blink, but it's not quite going on. We've actually got mothership cores going nuts on each other as well, or going nuts on the opposing stalkers anyway. Nice bit of time warp is going to be preventing a lot of the nice micro that we're used to seeing with stalkers. And here we go, 3 more stalkers coming out for Trend. That should push Arthur away. He's not going to be one to warp in 3 more stalkers from this pylon. It's just way too risky. This is actually another pylon that Arthur's put out right at the front, so very, very close. But there we go, 2 pylons going down, and that, I think, is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, because losing those 2 pylons is going to cap Arthur out, and he's not going to be in any sort of position to sort of rush Trent anymore. He's got to get those pylons back up, so he'll just be defending from now on. But Trent may reverse this. He's got 6 stalkers, 7 stalkers on the field versus Arthur's 5, and Arthur has 2 less probes as well. So yeah, just losing those couple of pylons and getting a bit supply capped, really, yeah, it all adds up. It all adds up after a little while, and I could definitely be buying Trend a little bit of an advantage. He's got a bit more stalkers here. At 10 versus 8, he's got blink as well, and that is going to be an advantage. But of course, Arthur has blink as well, doing a very nice job of blinking over here to kind of save those stalkers, keeping them alive very well. I think his micro is actually a little bit better than Trend's, because Trend definitely has less stalkers, no doubt. Arthur, I mean, Arthur has 9, but all of these guys have seen combat, so it's not like he just warped out 3 more. He actually kept almost all of his stalkers alive, if not all of them. We have a look here, units lost. He still lost a lot, but I think most of them were from the attack before. And Trent probably had lost less, but now he's definitely lost more. So really, really nice micro there from Arthur. And we may go back after the end of this game and check out that fight, because the micro there for Arthur in that fight, I think, was one of the best stalker blink micros I've seen in any game. It's not a huge battle, but it's something that I definitely want to check out again. So we'll go back and we'll check that out at the end of the game. But for now, we're going to see if Arthur can make something happen. I'm not sure if he can. This Trent is going to have the high ground advantage. Arthur doesn't really have a ton more stalkers, 4 more. And, I mean, Trent can, well, he's got an immortal coming out. And that immortal is going to make all the difference. But yeah, there's the stalkers deciding not to go in, deciding not to lay down any pylons. He's still got to worry about these pylons. This stalker having a bit of a look around, going to be seeing that pylon. Not going to see this one though. And what is this? Zealot just coming in. Both players just going for the robo facilities. I do not think we have any crazy Templar tech. No, it does not look like it. So they're going pretty standard, actually, going for pretty standard stuff. Both getting Observer. The only difference right now is that Trend does not have as many stalkers, but he does have a very, very nice immortal out there. Sentry, a couple of zealots, and he's actually 4 workers in the lead, and he's still got his mothership core, so he's doing alright. And the immortal, if it is very well played, will be able to make quite a bit of difference over here. And Trent actually going for a second immortal as well. Arthur, not quite yet, going for a... Oh, no, there we go, there's the second immortal. So both players playing a very, very straight game with each other, not doing anything crazy like a Dark Shrine or anything like that. And there we go, the Observer just going to be flying around, it's going to be seeing everything. And here we go. Arthur thinking about making something happen here. Sees the army he's going up against, decides against it. He does not want to go in and start facing the immortal that's already in that army. He definitely does not want to do it. And here comes the second immortal. What are we doing with the upgrades? Not a whole lot. In fact, neither player actually has a forge yet. Trent only just now starting to get his forge out there. Arthur not yet started his forge, but I suppose given the play we've seen so far, we can fully expect Arthur to lay down a forge very, very soon, because these guys appear very much in sync. I mean, there's minor differences. Arthur obviously has a lot more focus on stalkers, but yeah, they're very close in pretty much every other way. It's just minor differences all over the place. So yeah. Oh man, I'm so sleepy. It's not good. I should be casting a lot earlier in the day. It's bloody 9 PM at the moment. I should cast earlier in this, but you know what? This is when we're casting, so Nice blink. Actually trapped that guy, and he wasn't on an attack move. He was just on a normal move, so had no chance there. This game, man, is all about taking out pylons and supply blocking your opponent. I feel like that's the entire point of the game right here. Here he goes. Going to be blinking up. Is he going to blink up the rest? Is he? Doesn't look like he is. He's just going to blink up these. Go for a bit of workers. Let's see how many workers he gets out. He's getting a few. Now he's moving on to these stalkers. But these guys are all going to die. But should probably be focusing on the workers. But instead he's focusing on the stalkers. That's a bit of a mistake right there, because he had no hope of defeating those stalkers. So we'll have to see what's going on. Trend has really been pushing the immortals out. He's got 4 total. Where's the other immortals for whatchamacallit, for Arthur? There's a third one. He's not going to be able to blink up the ramp with bloody immortals, but he can go in the main one. Trent, however, has 4 immortals, so yeah, he's going to be quite okay as far as defending his base goes. And he's actually getting Zealot links as well, so it's going to be pretty nice. Going to be just jumping into each other a little bit in terms of income. Pretty much evened out. I'm very interested to see who is going to go for the Colossus first, because at some point the Protoss versus Protoss games, they always end up in Colossus, and they just get like a ton of them, like 5 or 6 Colossus or something like that. But it looks like Trend is going to be going for the High Templar before he goes for the Colossus. Maybe thinking about just straight up Archons, but maybe thinking about actual Storms. And Storm's not a bad option when you've got this many High Templar. Just going to be warping out, actually, saving his entire army. Did not want to engage at all there. He does have 4 Stalkers and a Observer over there. He might be able to blink across this gap, but I just do not know. Zealot going to be coming across, sees the 4 Stalkers, and yeah, Trend might go ahead and start attacking that. Arthur actually had a pylon over there. Pylon's been taken out, so that might be an indicator to Arthur that Trent is thinking about a third base. But yeah, Trent does not need a pylon over in Arthur's third. He's got an observer nice and secured over there, and that observer sees everything. So yeah, I mean, we will just have to see how this game goes, because right now they've got a ton of units. Trend getting the Archons out, getting level 2 weapons out. Arthur getting level 1 weapons out. Forge is quite a bit far behind. He is getting a Dark Shrine though. This may be for Archons, or it may be for some sneaky DT play. It may be for both. We will have to see which way they goes. I mean, Trend is a little bit ahead in terms of army. Actually, he's 4 behind on workers. Oh, he finally killed that thing. Finally killed that observer. So Trend is about 10 ahead, 5 ahead. It changes so close, I'm not even sure, but he's definitely ahead on army. He's got a bit more gas, a bit more minerals, so Trend is good on the army, but he's behind a little bit on the income. So we'll have to see. Look at this. Are these guys going to save this pylon? No, they're not going to save it. That's right, he's just going to build a couple more over there, and Trend now knows there's a pretty massive army heading towards his third base. He does have his own army. He's going to get a nice concave going around. He's going to try and hit him from all different directions all at the same time. And this is actually looking like a pretty good setup. With this many Immortals, a couple of High Templars in there, a couple of Archons. It's going to be pretty good, but Trend gets a little bit antsy, decides to move in. Not the best choice. He should have just remained as this concave that he had. It was a beautiful concave, but he's being sort of bumped all over the place, and the DTs running into his base are not going to be helping him. Actually going to be attacking the cannon. Cannon goes down. Both the DTs survive, though barely, and they're going to be going nuts as well. Major engagement over here. Trent choosing to move in. He's managed to get a concave outside, and Arthur blinking back his Stalkers to try and save them, but that is just death for all 3 of his mortals. And I mean, the blink, he had to hold his ground, otherwise he was going to lose his Immortals, and he chose to blink away. Horrible mistake. All of his Immortals went down, but to be fair, I think he was probably going to lose that battle anyway. I mean, he just did not have the Immortal numbers, and he did not have the Archons, so God knows what he was spending his money on, but it wasn't the right unit there. I mean, I think he was too much on the Stalker army right there. Just too many stalkers, not enough of the heavier units like Archons and stuff that Trend was getting a lot of, and that really saved him at the end. So yeah, there we go. But as promised, we are going to be going back and checking out the game early on. We're going to be slowing this right down, and keep an eye on these guys. Keep an eye on the blink micro of these stalkers. We have a look. We have 8. Keep an eye on the health as well. So this one right here is going to get blinked back. So you can see a stalker died there from Mr. Trend. But the blue ones, none of them have died yet. None of them have died yet. We've still got 8 in this panel. Keep an eye, that is 8 in that panel. So that is absolutely phenomenal. Arthur saving all of those, and there's where the mothership core died as it was trying to get away. So we're going to go back and watch that once again because, yeah, you really, that's really awesome Stalker micro. And I think it must have just general points. So units, we're going to get rid of that. So yeah, 8 Stalkers. So they get a nice blink in here, but he blinks them out just as they get to the low health. So that one gets blinked out, that one's about to get blinked out, these ones are about to get blinked out, that one gets blinked out. It's beautiful, it's absolutely beautiful. He's doing a great job of focusing his fire as well. I mean, Trent is trying to blink out, but you can see he lost a fair amount of Stalkers in there. He did. He definitely lost at least 1 or 2 Stalkers. If you have a look at the units lost, oh, I have to go back and have a look again. I'm sorry, I keep jumping back into this battle, but I mean, alright, so there we go. Let's get rid of the plate. So we've got 10 Stalkers. 1 dies almost immediately. That's great focus firing micro from Arthur there. Another one goes down. A third one goes down. His focus firing is so good. Here comes the 4th one. Is the 4th one going to blink out? No. The 4th one dies. So you gotta remember here, we're looking at this battle. Trent just lost 4 Stalkers to excellent focus fire, and Arthur didn't lose any. So there we go. Absolutely fantastic job there by Arthur, and great micro. So all right, we've watched that enough. I think that's like the 4th time we've seen it. So let's finish the game off here. Thank you very much for watching this game. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, have a good one. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. This has been Hairy Muppet.